You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Harry Buffalo. Catch every UFC pay-per-view live in full HD at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Mall. Harry Buffalo. Join the herd.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Jump over to Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/TheSportsFixCLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today. The Sports Fix on social media. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Join the Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
Hey, it's Hugh Hewitt, and when I want to know what's going on with the Cavs, the Browns, and the Tribe, I tune into Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
Well, welcome in. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, boys and girls and children of all ages. Welcome back into the Sports Fix. Another week here underway. J-Rock cracking the mic, cracking the bottle on this edition of the Sports Fix. And away we go. A ton to get into. Of course, a huge weekend. Sets up a huge fun week. You know, I mean, there's plenty of people that have, bandwagon has a lot of space. I've gotten a lot of people this morning that over the last few days, I've had some fun poking the finger at them just a little bit because I scroll up and down my social media and I see all this tribe this and tribe that, and I'm like, you are the same people that told me to stop wasting time on my show talking about the Indians. Their season has been over for how long? And it's time to focus on the Cavs, time to focus on the Browns, time to do this and do that. And then now everybody's kind of slowly going, hey, man, wow, you mean the Indians still have a chance to do this thing? You damn right the Indians still have a chance to do this thing. What do you think we've been telling you all? Do you think destiny is just a random term that various sports talk enthusiasts gather and toss out there and just throw it out there in the wind? All right, maybe it is. But regardless, once that term has been attached, there's no, hey, Jeopardy is attached now. This is like the legal system. There's no going backwards. The Team O Destiny continues to put themselves at least in a position to have what we've got right now, which is some fun coming back to the shores of Lake Erie. Not only is the final stand going to be the final home stand, it comes down right here where you need to be, and it comes down to 4 games in your face. A chance to come out of tonight, not tomorrow, not what we got to do for a week. The Indians have an opportunity to come out tonight if they can get 30 outs and remain 1 run better than the other team to gain 2 games here. And then you head in to your final 5-game stretch with 2 games to make up here, and all bets are off at that point. Matter of fact, I woke up this morning to a text message from my good friend Mike Brandenberry from didthetryWinLastNight.com. He goes, J-Rock, I got a special article just for you and Joel Hammond. Do you guys hear us refer to Joel Hammond? He's one of the PR people for the Indians, and Mike always says that Joel and I are the 2 guys that have hung on the longest here, because every morning we wake up to an email from the press people at the Indians going, good morning, here's where the Indians are in the play. It doesn't matter. They could have lost 5 in a row. Well, they're still only 20 games out of the wild card with 21 to play. It's that attitude, and I love it because I'm right there with it. So he always says Joel and I are the last 2 left. And he goes, I wrote one just for you guys this morning, man. And the title, he even used the D word. It's out there. Tribe controls more destiny than you think in this final week of the season. And he did an article basically saying who just that they're here, just that they're here, and that we're talking about this means that they're probably having a better finish to the season than what their play on the field deserves. And I'll tell you, I can't argue with that one, man. They definitely, I mean, though, see, that's two ways of looking at things, because I do agree with that to an extent, because when you look at all the bad play this season, it doesn't deserve a great finish and a chance to make the playoffs. When you look at the routine grounders that were booted and the relatively basic sense of baseball that sometimes this season was absolutely butchered defensively. But at the same time, you look at the flip side, which is, besides all of that, they're still here. So then that part of you says, if they're still here, then damn, they deserve to be here, because they held on through some dark nights to get through to possibly at least a sunrise, an opportunity to maybe see the sunrise here one more day. So yeah, part of you says they didn't deserve it, and the other part of you says that's why they deserve it even more, because they don't deserve it, and yet here they sit right here with an opportunity. I mean, the Indians get the first three outs today before we even get to the other game. You've just got to focus on the 3 outs in the first chance right there. If you finish that, you head into the actual game tonight, 2.5 games back, in the beginning of a 3-game series where you can completely erase the deficit between yourself. Now, obviously, you've got Seattle, you've got Oakland. I mean, only 2 of those 4 teams are going to make it into this wild card playoff here. And you know what? I was telling somebody over the weekend, I said it may take 162, it may take 163. It may take one extra game just to get the wild card teams determined. We may be looking at one of those scenarios where multiple teams possibly end up tied down in that last game of the season, and then you get some bonus baseball just to determine who gets to go to the wild card game to have so there may be a 1-game playoff to get to the 1-game playoff to get to the actual playoffs, but it's all there, and it is all in the realm of reality and possibility. And reality really has crept much more in, because all of a sudden now, and this is why you really do have to take things 1 game at a time, because even last week when we were looking ahead, what the Indians have in front of them now is much more realistic and much more manageable than going, they need a 14-game winning streak. They need to win all of these games and have all of these teams lose, because if you look, and all right, I saw Destiny dropped over there in the chat room. You guys know I've been talking about this Team of Destiny thing, but part of that, when you look at just how the last 5 or 6 days have played out, the Indians have lost games at the beginning of each of these series, didn't lose ground on guys. They were luckily the right teams lost on the right nights. Then, I mean, you've got everybody in front of you going cold here down the stretch as the Indians just continue to chip away with a chisel and a hammer, chip away at this thing, winning their games that they need to win. And then, bam, here they sit with a much more doable opportunity in front of them, and it's all right there. That's all you can ask for, man. And so it all starts this evening, man. Well, it technically started a few weeks ago in Kansas City. We finished that one here this evening as the Indians play a road game at home to start things off, get those 3 outs, and then the actual series begins. And as Mike talked about in the article here, and we'll get to talking more about the Tribe here, and of course we've got a ton for those of you just tuning in. We're talking Browns. We've got Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan, a lot to go into. But you look at, even when you're looking at joking about destiny, but when you're looking at signs, or when you're looking at things that fall out, the way the pitching staff was able to fall into the position that it does, to where they'll be able to reset and they will be ready to throw their 3 hottest pitchers in the last 6 weeks out there for the final 3 games of the season. If you finish off and take care of Kansas City. Kansas City maybe still holding on to some life there. I would have really loved for them to come in just completely beaten down. And you know what? Detroit did a number on them there. But, now the Indians know what they've got to do, and the opportunity is there in front of them. And as I said, if they do that against Kansas City, then all of a sudden you've got TJ House. He's 3-1 with a 2.3 ERA in 8 starts in August and September, coming down the stretch, taking care of business. Then you'd have Corey Kluber, and then the final game of the season would come down to, if he was on any team other than Corey Kluber's team, you would talk about him being the MVP of the second half of the pitching staff, Carlos Carrasco. Those 3 guys could wrap up your slate there in the 3 must-win games, but there's still a bridge of Kansas City between now and then. And then here's the final one. For those of you guys looking for all these things and signs and all of that, if everything that we've talked about plays out and the Indians ended up in the wild card game, guess who would pitch? Guess whose turn it would be in the rotation? Here we go again. Has anybody ever heard anything like? Have we ever talked about anything like that before? Instead of winning 10 in a row, they may win 9 in a row to win their way into the wild card, so Danny Salazar can get another shot at pitching the wild card game. The signs are all out there, and you know what too? I'm hoping that this weekend, the way they kickstarted the last 2 days, that offense a little bit here. Maybe maybe it just works out to the way the pitching was, but maybe that opens things up, and maybe they go, hey man, we can take care of business this week. Let's go out there. Our pitchers are doing a knockout job. Let's go out here and give them some run support, and let's get a little scoreboard watching going this week. So that's where we're at, guys. I haven't even got to talking about the Browns yet. I know the Browns did not finish on the side of the ledger that you want them to, but I'm in a good place with them, although the defense doesn't show. Who'd have thought in the preseason that we'd be going, hey, maybe the offense could get a little bit of help here, man, but haven't even gotten into that because the Indians just keep winning the games that they need to win. And then here we sit, and I look back, getting to the beginning of this, looking at my social media feed over the weekend. And I was calling them on it because I'm that guy. I'll call you on it. I'll be like, hey, wait a minute. Weren't you the guy that said blah, blah, blah? And a lot of those guys are still going, hey, man, Indians, now can we pack the house? And I even heard Hammy over the weekend. He wasn't even sure. As a matter of fact, he sounded defeated at it. He goes, people in there this week, this could be a fun week of baseball. Not holding my breath about it, we'll see what happens, because he knows the realities of it, but I am hoping that we can get some big crowds in there, and big relatively anyway, for this week. And for those of you that, for some reason, I understand that sometimes people can't split their rooting interest. Okay, that's great. That's fine and well. There's nothing else to root for this week, baby. Browns got the bye week. They get to put their house in order while the Indians get to set the stage for theirs. So focus of the entire city. Me and JK talked about that last week, how great it was that it falls down onto everything you can ask for. You have the homestand. You have your destiny in your own hands. You have the focus of the city for the next few days squarely upon you. Go out there and show what you're made of, baby. Go out there and do what you've been doing while nobody's been paying attention. Just keep doing it now while people are paying attention, man. And with that, everybody's paying attention. Everybody's in here. Now let's kick things off. Welcome in to the Sports Fix. As you heard, on a roll, getting things started right off the bat. J-Rock, Jerry Myers with you, welcoming you in, thanking each and every one of you for joining us. Another beautiful Monday here, another week of the Sports Fix. Thank you for joining us across the Sports Fix radio network, however that is, every weekday at noon on TuneIn and TuneIn's radio app live. And many of you listening live right now on Mixlr.com, and I see some of you in the Mixlr chat room over there, and on Spreaker and their websites and their digital applications as well. Many of you also listen to us live on the sportsfix.net, the mothership, the one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Thank you guys so much for being with us across all of those live networks, and thanks to the thousands and thousands of you that listen 24/7, 365 on digital delay, baby, around the world here on iHeartRadio, the world's largest internet radio provider, on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and SoundCloud and CarPlay and all the various formats that you guys keep up with the show. Thank you guys so much for following, subscribing, downloading, listening, and all of that, you guys, as we get ready to do the thing. We're going to open up the phone lines. I've already got a call in queue. We're going to throw it to you guys early. Things moved around a bit today, so I've got some time to take some calls here in the early part of the show. show, 216-539-7535, 216-539-7535. I'm telling you now, I've got a call.